Hello, thanks for joining us. This is Nationwide. I'm Ruth Aguela. President Muhammadu Buhari's 5 days state visit to Lisbon, Portugal was a first-class success story of two determined nations to engender a close relationship. Senior Special Assistant to the President on Media and Publicity, Garba Shehu, highlights 10 takeaways from the visit, including signing of 8 bilateral agreements in the areas of political consultations, diplomatic training, research and exchange of information and documentation, cooperation in the field of culture, women and girls development, empowerment and gender affairs, youths and sports. The visit also achieved a desire for a strategic partnership to strengthen the work Nigeria has been praised for. That is her stabilizing role in West Africa, the laying of a framework to strengthen security and cooperation between the two nations. Nigeria and Portugal, the statement added, have equally identified a common interest in the transatlantic gas pipeline, the Kano-Maradi railway line being constructed by a Portuguese company, and Portugal recognizing Nigeria as one of the 5 centers for vaccine production in Africa. In the area of sports, the choice of Jose Peseiro, the Portuguese coach of the Super Eagles, Nigeria struck yet another positive chord that resonates politically and diplomatically. In the field of renewable energy, with 60% of Portuguese energy gotten from renewable sources, the country ranks among the world leaders, hoping to reach carbon neutrality by 2030, and Nigeria will benefit from such record-breaking achievements, the statement notes. Still in relation to that, a joint commission between Nigeria and Portugal is in the offing to facilitate the implementation of various memoranda of understanding following President Muhammadu Buhari's visit to Portugal. This is in addition to a trigger for investments in a maritime gas pipeline to widen Nigeria's gas exportation. Guest on NTA's Good Morning Nigeria described the president's visit as a unique opportunity for both countries. Lydia Sampson will tell us more about it.
Bilateral relations between Nigeria and Portugal had been dormant despite long-standing historical ties. With his recent visit to Portugal, analysts note that President Muhammadu Buhari has not only rekindled the relationship which predates colonial era, but is taking it to a game-changing level. They are optimistic that Nigeria stands a lot to gain.
The president has done his own bit. He has opened the door, for government to government and people to people communication, and it is for everyone to come forward and to take full advantage of this situation. President Buhari will not now come to do the nitty-gritty for everyone. Authorities in that sector, businessmen, and thank God the Chamber of Commerce was present and they signed an agreement between their own counterpart.
Mr. President also made it clear to his counterpart that we also need to engage Portugal in other areas like agriculture, energy, investment.
The guest noted that the huge prospect of a maritime gas pipeline must be properly harnessed.
So when you have a major European player making this intervention, it is not just about Portugal alone. It has its own contagious effects. Other European countries will start looking towards Nigeria as a major solution. Major solution to the gas supply, the supply chain disruption they are having with Russia and all that because of this Russian-Ukraine conflict.
They are unanimous that security is key to wooing investors, while urging cabinet ministers to expedite action on harvesting the low-hanging fruits of the foreign engagement. In Abuja, Lydia Sampson, NTA News.
The federal government says Nigeria is a country that is fully guided by a constitution that guarantees its citizens' right to freedom of worship, just as it has no policy that denies their citizens such right. Information and Culture Minister Lai Mohammed stated this in London while reacting to a letter written by some Republican senators asking the U.S. Secretary of State Anthony Blinken to immediately redesignate Nigeria as a country of particular concern under the International Religious Freedom Act.
Does not have a policy that denies people the freedom to practice their religion. Neither does it have a tradition or an official policy of violation of freedom of religion. And it is not true that Nigeria actually persecutes anybody solely on account of his or her faith. We've said this several times, and we're saying it again with all the emphasis at our disposal, because even the Constitution of Nigeria guarantees the right of anybody to practice his or her own faith without molestation by anybody. And the federal government has always striven to ensure and to guard jealously this constitutional provision. And when there have been violations of it, the government has been at the forefront of prosecuting, of investigating and prosecuting and protecting everybody who has chosen a particular religion or faith to practice.
We'll bring you full details in subsequent bulletin. Let's turn to electoral affairs. INEC to conduct mock accreditation of voters in the 3 senatorial districts of Osun State before the July 16th governorship poll to ensure everything works perfectly. INEC Chairman Professor Mahmood Yakubu, in a briefing, also assured the electorate in Osun that all is now set for the exercise. He appeals for decency during the process.
Of INEC, all major activities that are supposed to be carried out at this stage have been successfully undertaken. We will visit some of our local government offices in the state, hold meetings with our staff, brief the Council of Traditional Rulers to solicit the support of their Royal Majesties for peaceful elections, and meet with the security agencies and transporters. We will also observe the mock accreditation of voters in some polling units across the 3 senatorial districts in the state to further test the functionality of the bimodal voter accreditation system. A few days to the election, we will return to Osun State to meet with stakeholders and for the signing of the peace accord by political parties and candidates under the auspices of the National Peace Committee. Arising from the experience of the recent Ekiti State governorship election, the Commission is keeping a close watch on the security situation in Osun State. Although it is generally calm at the moment, we are nevertheless concerned about reports of clashes in some places.
To an unfortunate incident, we hear Igbo is a North Local Government Area Office of INEC in Enugu State was set ablaze by unknown arsonists Sunday night, 3rd July 2022. The arsonists who we hear overpowered the security guards, forced their way into the premises and set the building ablaze. Although no casualty was reported, but 748 ballot boxes, 240 voting cubicles, office furniture and equipment were destroyed, in spite of the best efforts of the Enugu State Fire Service deployed from Nsukka. INEC National Chairman for Information, Festus Okoye, says the Commission is working to ascertain the status of voter registration machines for the ongoing continuous voter registration exercise, as well as uncollected permanent voters' cards locked up in the fireproof cabinet. It is noteworthy to state that this is not the first attack of INEC facilities by hoodlums in the state. On 23rd May 2021, INEC office in the neighboring Iboeze South local government area was attacked in a similar manner by unknown gunmen. This followed earlier attacks on Udenu local government area office on 13th May 2021 and the state headquarters in Enugu on 16th May 2021. The APC Northern Women Caucus is mobilizing women for active participation in the ongoing nationwide continuous voters registration exercise. Aliyu Tijani reports that the National Deputy Woman leader of the party, Zainab Abubakar, led the advocacy team to Nasarawa State.
With the extension period for the continuous voters registration exercise by the Independent National Electoral Commission (INEC), the registration centers continues to witness influx of eligible voters. APC women in the north part of the country are taking advantage of the extension period to ensure every woman of voting age in the country get registered to vote in 2023 general election. While launching the campaign in Lafia for the North Central Zone, the advocacy team engages various women groups, including traders and other stakeholders in the electioneering process.
Our purpose met and decided to play the role of getting more people registering to obtain their PVCs. This, we believe, is the first step of participating in the process of electing good leaders of our country. The good news for us that INEC has extended the continuation of voters registration, and will do everything possible to ensure that everybody, not just the women, come out in mass to register and also to collect their PVCs.
The National Deputy Woman Leader, Zainab Abubakar, urged women to participate fully in the exercise but must not be involved in multiple registration. The team also met with Governor Abdullahi Sule, Emir of Lafia Justice Sidi Baigi, and INEC Resident Electoral Commissioner to solicit for support and cooperation. In Lafia, Aliyu Tijani, NTA News.
A look at the judiciary. There are renewed efforts at enhancing the efficiency of support staff in the judiciary, targeted towards building public confidence in the justice system. This is to be achieved through the improvement of the day-to-day running of the registry at various courts. Acting Chief Justice of Nigeria, Justice Olukayode Ariwola, wants judicial officers to work in line with the Code of Conduct for court employees.
You must be effective in your supervision and inspection of the area, Sharia, and customary courts. As doing so, we go a long way in building public confidence in our courts, fight corruption, laziness, and other inadequacies in the judiciary.
We are saddled with the responsibility of overseeing the activities of lower courts and thereby ensure that area judges are properly guided among other responsibilities. This you must take seriously to avoid miscarriage of justice in any form.
Investigations, petitions, handling and delineating of court jurisdictions are some of the insights to be gained at the training workshop for directors and inspectors of lower courts. All right, we're heading to Ibadan now to join Adebola. She's going to pick up from there.
Very much, Ruth. Good afternoon and thank you for joining us. The camp of the All Progressives Congress APC in Oyo State swelled as the member representing Ibarapa North and Central Federal constituencies in the House of Representatives, Ajibola Muraina, moved these political structures from the People's Democratic Party to the ruling party. Kayode Oladoshi reports.
The meeting was a gathering of leaders of All Progressives Congress (APC) within and outside Ibarapa zone, as the lawmaker representing Ibarapa North and Central Federal Constituency, Ajibola Muraino, led thousands of his supporters from the People's Democratic Party to the All Progressives Congress. On hand to welcome the new members was the chairman of the All Progressives Congress (APC) in Oyo State, Isaac Omodewu, who unveiled the agenda of the party at local, state, and national level for the progress of the country.
I continue to appeal to everybody, every party members, to all the agreed. We should look at what is going on now and make sure that we are together in saving the party.
It was also an opportunity for Ajibola Muraino to unfold his next plan in his quest to continue with his progressive representation of his constituents.
All the people that are coming in, together with the people that have been there before, they have been reconciled. It is the product of that reconciliation that we have seen the masses. We have seen them in their numbers.
Some other leaders at the meeting lauded Ajibola's antecedents in leadership as they assured him of their continued support in his aspiration to serve the masses again at the House of Representatives. From Igangan, Ibarapa North local government area of Oyo State, NTA News.
And the Nigeria Immigration Service has rescued a 20-year-old victim of human trafficking in Shaki, Oyo State. NIS Public Relations Officer Femi Adetuji stated this while briefing newsmen at the head office in Ibadan. Ayomiku Ajibola has details.
Before I came to Shaki, there's one woman that is from AK that is staying at AK. She's the one that sent me to Antioch for sex work.
Even the woman when he bring her come, he don't tell and say, see what you want go do. Say no wahala.
20-year-old victim of trafficking narrating our ordeal in the hand of trafficker. NIS Oyo State Command Public Relations Officer Olufemi Adetuji said the victim was brought from Akwa Ibom to Oyo State on June 19 by the suspect with a promise to get her a good job. Rather than get her the promised job, she engaged her in prostitution and collected the proceeds.
According to her, a lot of men have slept with her. They are not giving her the money. The end user, the woman using her, is the one collecting the money from the men.
On his part, Coordinator, National Agency for Prohibition on Trafficking in Persons, NAPTIP in Oyo State, Augustine Akanya, said the agency will ensure diligent investigation and prosecution of the suspect.
We have already engaged the Ministry of Women Affairs. Now we are going to put her in one of the shelters, in Oyo State for proper care while investigation is going on.
He commended the Nigeria Immigration Service for the collaboration with the agency towards eradicating human trafficking in the state. In Ibadan, Ayomiku Ajibola, NTA News.
And that's our contribution from Ibadan. Time now for the first break, after which we join Michael Olaleye in Lagos. Stay with us.
Ever-busy ancient city of Onitsha is a commercial hub with millions of commuters seamlessly linking other states daily for business, leisure, and other purposes. To upscale its road network, the construction of a 1.6-kilometer long second Niger bridge, including a 10.3-kilometer highway furnished with other infrastructure, has been in motion by the federal government. This project will ease congestion on the existing 56-year-old Onitsha bridge and boost the economic capacity of the state as it easily connects to other parts of the country. The completion of the world-class second Niger Bridge Onitsha will be one of the many proud moments of the state, its people, Nigerians, and foreign investors. Onitsha, which hosts the largest market in Africa, is geared up to boast of an impressive road network. Once again, these moments are made alive by the federal government, and it is deserving of all the applause.
As the world advances, Glorious Vision University Ogwa, Edo State is poised to deliver world-class education rooted in strong academic traditions. In the colleges of law, basic and applied sciences, humanities, management and social sciences, Glorious Vision University is building the next generation of leaders. Hurry now for 2022-2023 undergraduate and postgraduate admissions into any of our NUC fully accredited programs. Secure admission today in one of the fastest growing private universities in Africa. Also note that the university runs diploma, GPED, and tuition-free in all colleges. For more information, visit www.sau.edu.ng or call 0705 079 1226. Glorious Vision University, to nurture for discipline and excellence.
The growth and strength of globalization and its implications have continued to threaten global peace, with Nigeria not an exception. It is against this background that Sectec Consulting Limited, in collaboration with NTA Television Enterprises Limited, offer timely solutions through their forthcoming International Security Conference on Security Threats, Awareness, Advocacy and Management. Sectec Consulting Limited and NTA Television Enterprises Limited cordially invite all government security institutions, including the Nigerian Army, Navy, Air Force, Police, Department of State Services, Civil Defense, Immigration, Correctional Services, private security outfits, governors of the 36 states, ministers, captains of industries, NGOs, and other stakeholders. The conference will showcase latest security hardware, study their usage, and make them available to secure Nigeria. The conference will take place in the third quarter of 2022 at the International Conference Center, Abuja. Please, for further inquiry, contact Chooks on 0815-860-3003 and Abubakar on 0803-565-5432.
Glad to know you're still there, and thanks for joining us in Lagos. The fight against anti-smuggling and corrupt practices at the Apapa port is yielding results as the Apapa area commanders blocking all loopholes. Olumide Guntola reports that the service is living up to its mandate of facilitating trade.
In line with the federal government's efforts to boost the economy of the country and compete favorably with other economies of the world, the Nigerian Customs Service, through its Apapa command, swung into action at the beginning of the year to achieve set goals. Through its consistency and resilience in areas of revenue generation, anti-smuggling operations, import and export trade, the command has collected revenue to the tune of 522.4 billion naira, a significant increase of 156 billion naira as against 366.5 billion naira collected in the corresponding month of the year 2021. Smuggling of dangerous items were reduced with a seizure of 83 containers worth 8.3 billion naira, while 21 suspects were arrested.
The importers are now being traced, and we are sure that we are going to bring them to book. Investigation is also going. One thing you have to understand is that this kind of quotation, apart from the fact that it is being prohibited, if it goes to the society, it can be dangerous, because every food items that are coming to this country must be certified by NAFDAC.
The command's 42.5% increase in revenue collection between January and June 2022 includes the exportation of non-oil commodities with about 2.5 million metric tons, above the 540,000 metric tons in the year 2021. In Lagos, Olumide Guntola, NTA News.
The sites of distressed buildings being pulled down in different parts of Lagos State is likely to become more commonplace in coming days. Though unsavory, controlled demolition is one preemptive move that the state government has adopted to check the spate of building collapse in the state. Adeni Taiwo reports.
Kogi building collapse, a sad reference point on the danger posed by distressed buildings to human lives. Lesser cases of building collapse have been reported in other parts of Lagos State, particularly around Abuja and Lagos Island. Demolishing houses, a difficult task, made rather more difficult by emotions involved.
They told us they are pulling down the houses and they gave us just 2 weeks for us to do all we need to do to pack out of the houses.
That notwithstanding, 20 distressed buildings have so far been demolished by the state government as it ramps up efforts to tackle rising cases of collapsed buildings in the state. Now, attention shifts from Abuja and Yaba on the mainland to these narrow crevices of Lagos Island. Densely populated with rows of congested buildings, Lagos Island has in recent times posted a disturbing number of building collapse incidents, including the one that claimed 4 lives at Alayaki Street on May 21 this year. The controlled demolition exercise continues with these 5 buildings at Kogi Street, marked to be pulled down by the Lagos State Building Control Agency.
Look at what we have here. It's an extreme distressed building. And despite that this is a distressed building, it shows you the number of times that my staff will have served this building. According to them, it's been served, and this is on the 4th floor without any building plan approval. So if we are doing justice to this, what is stopping us from pulling this down? You find out that you have this building, people are still staying down there. They know that the building is distressed. They know that one day this building is coming down. They know that one day the government will come and do it, but they still don't want to move away from there.
At Enowa, Rika, Igadugon, and Odunfa Streets, these 3-story buildings, still under construction, were partly demolished for not keeping to approved plan. Even while it is unsavory, it is expected that this exercise would call attention to the need for standard as well as promote vigilance among members of the society. In Lagos, Adini Itaiwo, NTA News.
Do not forget to follow this news broadcast live on our website at nta.ng/live and on our other social media handles displayed on your screen for updates. And that is it from here. It's now back to Ruth for the continuation of Nationwide.
Thank you, Michael. The General Authority for Civil Aviation has approved extension of landing permit for Nigerian Hajj carriers to Wednesday, 6th July 2022. Saudi airports were initially slated to close to pilgrims by Sunday, 3rd July. The extension will commence from 4th to 6th of one of the airlines, while 4th and 5th have been approved for another. In a statement, Assistant Director of Public Affairs, National Hajj Commission of Nigeria, NACON, Fatima Sansa Usara, the Commission sought the extension to enable it airlift the remaining pilgrims into the kingdom for 2022 Hajj. Of the 43,008 pilgrims expected to perform this year's Hajj from Nigeria, 27,359 have been flown to the kingdom by Sunday, 3rd July. Similarly, over 5,000 out of the 8,097 tour operators, pilgrims with valid visas, were airlifted through scheduled flights. The statement further indicates that the extension was necessitated by excessive flight cancellations and delays arising from inability to secure BTA, insufficient funds for visas, unavailable PCR test results. NACON once again reiterates that, God willing, no pilgrim will be left behind, regretting any inconveniences pilgrims might have experienced during the period. Well, a ray of hope sets in for Niger State pilgrims with the approval of extension of landing permit for Nigerian Hajj carriers from 4th to the 6th of July to enable the airlift of intending pilgrims to Saudi Arabia. However, the third batch of pilgrims are undergoing screening and getting ready for the trip to the Holy Land through Nnamdi Azikiwe International Airport, Abuja. Hussaina Musa reports.
Out of the 2,265 intending pilgrims from Niger State, 547 that make up the first batch have been airlifted to Saudi Arabia after days of delay. Challenge attributed to the delay in issuance of visa and deliberations on getting approval for the airlift of pilgrims from Mina Airport, which proved abortive, eventually led to the airlift of the pilgrims from the Nnamdi Azikiwe International Airport, Abuja.
The preparation has started very late.
We just have to endure, because we don't have anything to do. We are witnessing a lot of improvement now. In every spiritual assignment like this, it comes with a lot of challenges.
NTA News took up a pilgrim from Bidda local government area regarding the alleged non-remittance of their Hajj fares by the area pilgrims officer.
The board has not confirmed anything to us like as such. Our hope is that every intending pilgrim should go.
Senior officials of the State Pilgrims Welfare Board were not on ground to comment on this and other issues, as they were reportedly in Abuja still processing travel documents of some intending pilgrims. In Mina, Hussaina Musa, NTA News.
Hope for sustained interreligious harmony in southern Kaduna has been rekindled as Christian youths in Kachia town joined Muslim community to actively participate in clearing Eid prayer ground. Haruna Mohammed reports that the show of solidarity by Christian youths in the area is a catalyst for peaceful coexistence.
Kachia Town is one of the cosmopolitan settlements in Kaduna State with people of diverse culture and religion cohabiting. However, cementing cordial relationship remains key among them. Clearing of prayer ground ahead of Eid Kabir is another milestone among Muslims and Christians in the area. Christian youth lowered their differences in joining Muslim community to clear the site, which is expected to host thousands of Muslim worshippers in Kachia Town and environs. Leader of Christian youth in the area said their participation is born out of desire of promoting unity and peace in the area.
I felt it's not only time for us to preach peace by weight, rather we should put it into practice, because we felt by so doing it's going to create a unity among people of different religions.
I believe this will contribute more to peaceful coexistence.
Jamaat Islam Kachia branch organizer of the exercise commended the foresight of the Christian youths in the area for contributing in clearing the prayer ground for Muslims. Haruna Mohammed, NTA News.
More Christian faithful and religious leaders in Benin City have joined in condemning the incessant kidnapping and killing of religious leaders in the country. They want government to step up its game in ensuring security of lives and property. Joy Ego will tell us more about it.
Less than a week after the parish priest of St. Michael Ikabibo, Uzairi, was abducted and murdered, two other Catholic priests, Reverend Father Stephen Ojakwa and Oliver Okpara, fell into the hands of suspected kidnappers or bandits in Kaduna State, although they were later released by their abductors. The spate of kidnapping of priests and clergy in the country is fast assuming a worrisome dimension. This is because when Christian community in Edo State are yet to recover from the shock of the gruesome murder of Reverend Father Christopher Oja by his abductors, another bad news broke. Reverend Father Peter Udo of St. Patrick's Catholic Church Erome and Reverend Father Philemon Obo of St. Joseph Retreat Center Uboha, both in Edo State, have been allegedly abducted along the Benin Auchi Road on their way back to Uromi in Esan Southeast local government area of Edo State.
The kidnapping issue has become something that is so rampant. If men of God, people who are revered in the society, are going through this, I wonder what the men, women, children out there, what they are going through. I appeal to the government, let them come to the aid of the people.
The incessant kidnapping of priests in the recent time is strongly the work of Satan.
God is alive. God will arise on behalf of all well-meaning Nigerians that have been made victims of such attacks.
Times like this, we should not give up.
In Benin, Joy Ego, NTA News.
Retired military generals remain repository of knowledge to the government. Former Chief of Defense Staff Admiral Olasaad Ibrahim and the Chief of Naval Staff Vice Admiral Awal Gambo stated this at the 2022 post-career seminar organized by members of the 36th regular course of the Nigerian Defense Academy. Defense correspondent Ismail Musa reports that the event, which held at the National Defense College Abuja, featured deliberations on healthy life after retirement, investment opportunities, and the critical roles of the retired military officers in the quest to stem criminality.
This group of men retired
embodied a lot of experience and quality that can be of use to this country. I make recourse to my courtmates that were both in the Navy and the other services while I'm taking some strategic decisions that affect operations of the Nigerian Navy, and when we're operating together, you know, as Army, Navy, Air Force, in all fronts of national security situation. The nation can be rest assured that we continue to deploy all the skills and knowledge that have been imparted in us over the years in supporting all national aspirations. We continue to help on issues with national security and development. That we are committed to, and that we will continue to do.
The members promised to support the ongoing internal security operations in the country. The state government says it will reposition its civil service for effective service delivery and good governance. Governor Kayode Fayemi stated this at the swearing-in of the new head of service, Mr. Bamidele Olubenga Agbede, at the government house at Ado-Ekiti. Kola Adebabuyi reports.
The Federal Republic of Nigeria has been the 9th head of service since the creation of the state in 1996. The new head of service takes oath of allegiance and oath of office before the governor, Dr. Kayode Fayemi, having gone through the requisite process to emerge as the new head of service. Governor Fayemi observed that the role of head of service in providing leadership for the civil servants, who are the major drivers of government's policies and programs, cannot be underestimated, as success of government's policies and programs depends largely on the functionality of the civil service.
It is my belief that you will continue from where the predecessor stopped and build on your experience and capacity to rally all civil servants behind the incoming administration.
The new head of service promised to sustain the transformation agenda in the state public service in building a 21st century civil service. Agbede, until his appointment, was permanent secretary, Ministry of Works and Transport. He took over from the state's first female head of service, Mrs. Peju Babafemi, who retired from the state civil service in June, having attained the mandatory 35 years in service. In Ado-Ekiti, Kola Adebabuyi, NTA News.
We'll make another stop, this time in Benin. Obeyi will guide us from there.
Thank you, Ruth, and welcome to Benin. The Edo State Police Command has paraded 7 suspected members of 2 cult groups that have been having clashes, which led to fatalities in the state in the past week. While deploying police operatives to volatile areas in the state, the command rescued 64-year-old Italian Reverend Father Luigi Brenna, who was kidnapped by hoodlums in the city. Ifyo Yakire has details.
Benin City, the capital of Edo State, has been relatively peaceful, but this calm was ruptured a few days ago when incidents of court war erupted, claiming the lives of about 6 persons. Records indicate that one of the incidents occurred at Ugbowo Axis, where a young man was allegedly killed in his house. Similarly, a uniformed person was also allegedly killed by unknown gunmen who were said to have taken to their heels after perpetrating the dastardly act. To arrest the situation, the Commissioner of Police Abutu Yaro instructed the men of the command to embark on an aggressive manhunt to get the culprits.
And as such, that had yielded good result by the operatives arresting some good number of cultists from the Ekeadolo axis and recovering of arms and ammunition during that operation.
The suspects who were paraded confessed to the crime. They are to be charged to court at the end of investigations. Meanwhile, the kidnappers of the Italian Reverend Father were traced to their camp in Ovia Southwest local government area of the state upon the information received by the command. Also, the police are yet to receive any information on whereabouts of the 2 priests kidnapped along the Benin-Auchi Expressway. In Benin, Ivie Oyahire, NTA News.
And still on security, following the rising cases of insecurity in Nigeria, stakeholders are urging Nigerians to rise up to the challenge and report any strange movement to security agencies. They made the plea in Akure while speaking on the various ways to stay safe amidst the current security challenges. Olushola Komolafe reports.
The level at which insecurity increases in Nigeria has become worrisome. Some residents of Akure who spoke with NTA News believe it is the duty of the government to protect life and property of Nigerians, while others believe it is a collective responsibility.
Leaving security to the hands of government, the populace will suffer it. So I think the security of life and property in Nigeria should be handled by both the government and the citizenry.
The issue of security is everyone's responsibility, but the fact remains that the federal government, the government have been entrusted with the sole responsibility for the security of life and property. But with the situation of things now, we all should be responsible in one way or the other.
A security expert, Williams Babalola, enjoined all Nigerians to be security conscious and report strange activities to security agencies.
Everybody should be security conscious. Let's give information to the people that concern that can help us fish out these people.
The stakeholders enjoined government at all levels to invest more in the security sector by providing more ammunition to fight insecurity in the country. In Akure, Olushola Komolafe, NTA News.
And that's it from Benin. A quick reminder that you can follow this podcast live at nta.ng/live or any of our social media handles displayed for updates. We'll take another break now, but please stay tuned as Felicia is standing by with more reports from Jos.
Elections are here again. Let us shun violence. Let us play the game according to the rules. Do not be a thug. Say no to violence. Let's rise and defeat violence, crime, and sabotage against the peace of our nation. Nigeria is the only country we have. We must do everything to keep it united. We must avoid any act that promotes hate and disintegration. Say no to separatist movement, terrorism, fake news, hate speech, religious bigotry, and any act that tends to divide us as a nation. Watch out for strange gatherings and suspicious movements. Restrict access to sensitive documents and data, the disclosure of which may damage national security. Educate your staff and family, particularly on measures to safeguard information and report security breaches. Apply relevant legal security guidelines to protect yourself and your neighbors. Due to misinformation and wrong choices, some idle persons resort to vices in their greed to get rich quick. They resort to kidnapping, killings for rituals, and other heinous crimes. Avoid wrong use of the social media. Before you broadcast that false message, think twice. Ask whether it will promote peace or violence. For safety at home, still be security conscious. Educate your household on safety tips. Report all suspicious movements and persons to the security agencies nearest to you. Be a good citizen. Be patriotic. To pass security information, please call 0813-222-2105, 0915-339-1309, 0908-837-3514, or send a mail to dsspr@dss.gov.ng. This message is from the Department of State Services, DSS.
Hoping that their educational deprivation is not the end of the world.
Agencies and stakeholders to proactively tackle these challenges.
Women in most countries of the world constitute about 50% of registered voters. Williams, reporting for Deadline 360.
In Jos, Caleb Gochin, Deadline 360.
Naja Achiti.
Deadline 360. Chidi Okrafo.
For Deadline 360.
In Lagos, Michael Olaleye.
Reporting for Deadline 360. I am Omosola Omojola. Thanks for tuning in.
But Lalo, Nigeria are the 9th champions in this competition.
The 12th edition of the Africa Women's Cup of Nations is here with 12 teams including reigning champions and 9-time winners, Super Falcons of Nigeria, all in contention from July 2 to 23 in Rabat, Morocco. You can catch all the actions live on the NTA network service and NTA Sports 24, channel 270 on StarTimes, 434 on StarSat and 731 on Free TV. Come, join us to promote another championship run by the Super Falcons. For your advert placement, please call Hawa on 0803 312 1022. Africa Women's Cup of Nations, Rabat 2022. Game on!
Still on to Nationwide, welcome to JOS. The National Social Investment Program is collating data of out-of-school children in Plateau State for the commencement of the Alternative School Program for the less privileged. Farida Nelson has details.
The federal government introduced the Alternative School Program to reduce the number of out-of-school children, especially the less privileged in the society. The program is expected to provide opportunities to develop the beneficiaries' life supporting skills through vocational and entrepreneurship training.
Plateau State was chosen as a pilot, and in Plateau State, an organization was given the mandate to do the mapping, and they mapped out Jos North and Gangare community, where predominantly we have a large number of children that are out of school. So the essence of this exercise is to identify these children under their different teachers. Some in the local Quranic school, some have dropped out.
We've gone to inspect the sites where we're going to do the school. We're going to site a borehole to take care of the sanitation and other ancillary projects. It's not a formal kind of school, but it's an informal setup where we take the school to the children.
We really appreciate the government for this justice.
We appreciate the government for providing us with education and feeding.
They expressed gratitude to the federal government for the gesture, promising to utilize the opportunity offered to them to improve on their lives. Other pilot states benefiting from the program include Borno, Rivers, Kano, Lagos, Enugu, and Abuja. In Jos, Farida Nelson, NTA News.
To regulate and improve healthcare delivery, the Ministry of Health, Plateau State, is interfacing with its critical partners to come up with an updated data of healthcare providers in the state. Caleb Gochin has the reports.
The meeting is coming on the heels of efforts by the state government to capture in its data bank all critical sectors of the economy for enhanced development. The health sector is one government considers as very important in achieving this objective, hence the interface, as posited by the Commissioner for Health, Dr. Nimkom Damlar, who was represented.
We noticed that there are population of a lot of private clinics giving harm to our people by giving them the wrong, health services in the state.
The Commissioner notes that the edict guiding the operation of health practice in the state has become obsolete, hence the need for an update. Exercise, the government notes, will also ease the collection of revenue which is needed for service delivery. Director General, Plateau Information Communication Technology Development Agency, David Dasar, sums up the essence of the meeting.
With geolocation now, we can know the number of hospitals and pharmaceutical stores distribution across the state, so that once government wants to make decision in terms of where to set hospitals and pharmacy, with the availability of data, it knows where to set it.
Stakeholders applauded the government for making the interaction possible, as it would go a long way in correcting the anomalies on ground for a more robust and effective healthcare delivery in the state. In Jos, Caleb Gochin, NTA News.
And that's it.
The federal government introduced
it. Back to you in Abuja for more on Nationwide.
Thank you, Felicia. The National Metallurgical Development Center just is furnished with modern equipment to perform research and laboratory test activities in the solid minerals sector. Director General of the center, Linus Asukwo, stated this at a media briefing in Abuja. He notes that the center will also give a detailed information on the quality of raw materials needed for the Ajaokuta Steel Company.
And I'm pleased to inform you that right now, NMDC, even though not sufficient, because research and development is capital intensive, we have now the state-of-the-art equipment for analyzing these minerals that we have. And apart from that, we have also the metallurgy department. There are so many minerals in the country. And as you are aware, Nigeria wants a steel plant, a Ajaokuta steel plant, that has been on. But what are the materials that will be needed, like the iron ore, minerals? These minerals need to be processed so that we now inform the people wanting to use, the end users, whether they are fit for use or not.
The DG added that the challenges of power supply and insecurity have been squarely addressed through collective efforts. 72 enumerators have been trained for the 2022 National Agricultural Sample Census of the National Bureau of Statistics to provide sound-based data for policymakers. The data, when gathered, will enable the public and private sector and state governments take important decisions on how to maximize the benefits of agriculture. Achibong Mbasi reports.
In Cross River State, agriculture is equally an important economic activity. According to the National Bureau of Statistics, the state in 2017 accounted for 45.5% of its total gross domestic product, making it the largest sector of the economy and a very critical sector for the state.
We have been saying we don't have data for agriculture. This exercise is here to provide all the required data that we need on the sector of agriculture.
The only information machinery that can climb the hills, climb the treetops, sit on the floor with an average native, if you want to say, person, and deliver the message that it ought to be.
We have to encourage our youth to begin to know that it's not about Yahoo, it's not about sharp practices, it's not about spiritual killing, it's about agriculture.
The workshop is designed to effectively train and equip enumerators with the knowledge required to adequately carry out data, which critical stakeholders see is the essential part of the entire census. The results of the census will also form a statistical framework for the conduct of subsequent agricultural survey in Nigeria. In Calabar, Achibombasi, NTA News.
Residents of Kogi local government area and surrounding communities around Brat axis of Kogi State are likely to begin to enjoy quality and better healthcare delivery services courtesy of a newly established state-owned medical institution. The Gegu Ultra-Modern General Hospital is expected to deliver on targets such as affordable quality services and job creation opportunities for Nigerians. Solomon Ayedayi reports.
The Gegu Ultra-Modern General Hospital is one of the health centers built by the Kogi State government to provide quality health care in the state and beyond. The 150-bed hospital with detachable accommodation for doctors and nurses is 100% complete, awaiting installation of hospital equipment. Governor Yahaya Bello, on tour of the project and on-the-spot assessment, explained that the state-of-the-art hospital, when fully functional, will meet the health needs of Nigerians and also create job opportunities.
Whatever you think is going to take you outside this country, you don't need to go anywhere again. Here in Kogi State, all of your challenges or your requirements will be met. And so far, as far as the quality of job is concerned, I am highly satisfied.
Governor Bello said The New Direction administration in Kogi State has put in place a workable health insurance scheme to cater for members of the public. He encouraged the people of the state to enroll and make maximum use of the scheme to ease their health challenges. The governor had earlier paid a royal visit on the Ohimegeigu Kotonkarfe, Abrazak Isa Koto, in his palace at Kotonkarfe, where issues of national interest were discussed. Solomon Ayedehi, NTA News.
Let's bring you sports update.
Nigerian senior basketball team